Hello and welcome to Soul Steps. I'm David Gallagher. The first part of Soul Steps is this video, the devotional that we call Soul Food. The step after the video we call Soul Search, and it's a set of thought and heart-provoking questions that you can ask yourself. And then the last step is called Soul Moves, what we hope are practical ways that you can implement today's devotional in your real-world life. The last 4 years for me have been arguably the most difficult of my life. It's been years marked with tremendous loss. When I stepped down from the ministry I co-founded and led for 15 years, a lot of loss came with that stepping down. By virtue of that stepping down, I lost friends. I certainly lost recognition. I lost influence. I lost certainly employment and income. Some circles, I think I lost respect. And yet I think the greatest loss I experienced was the loss of vision. I've been a visionary all my life. I've been able to see things and dream things that others maybe can't dream or see, but my mind has always been filled with being able to see. And for the first time in my life, these last 4 years, I was rendered visionless. And that was really difficult. It wasn't until the spring of this year, 2022, that God began to slowly impart to me new vision for what now is becoming and is Soul Steps. With that loss, and that loss of vision was a tremendous amount of weakness, a tremendous amount of vulnerability, and just lostness. But it reminded me what Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians 12, where he says, "I will not boast about myself, except about my weaknesses. In order to keep me from becoming conceited, I was given a thorn in my flesh, a messenger of Satan to torment me. 3 times I pleaded with the Lord to take it away from me. But he said to me, 'My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness.' Therefore," Paul said, "I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weaknesses, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I'm weak, then I'm strong." You know, it goes against everything in our human natures to begin to understand that somehow with God, when we know Him and walk with Him, and we're in relationship with Him, that it's in our greatest weakness that His greatest strength is revealed. Can I encourage you today, if you find yourself in kind of a lost place, maybe because of loss, maybe it's really dark, and like me, you've lacked a vision. You haven't known what the next day is going to hold. Throw yourselves into the arms of the one who created you and who knows the plans and the purposes He has for you. The Old Testament says that, darkness and weeping in darkness may last for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Joy comes when the light of dawn begins to break and you can begin to see again. Let me invite you with me to join what I now call the Weakling Club. And the Weakling Club is not a club that most people want to join. And it's because it requires you to give up virtually everything that you hold dear. It requires giving up status and ego and influence and maybe wealth. But in that club is a really, really sweet place of solace and peace, because the one who owns the club is there, and that's God. So it's a hard club to join because you need a referral from the Lord. And he usually requires a really high initiation fee, and yet it's well worth it to join that club. So if you're stripped down and laid out bare like I have been, and I think that I'll continue to be on many levels for the rest of my life, but in a really good way, because at the end of the day in this life, all I know is all that's left is him. And that's okay. That is the best place to be. So be encouraged today. Be encouraged. If you're laid out, you've lost a lot, and you're weak, let God take you in your weakness so that all of his incredible strength can rest on you for the plans and purposes that he still has for you to accomplish in this life. God bless you.